Now, to get a wrap of what has occurred and transpired throughout the course of the day, we speak to our reporter Abongile Jantjies. Abongile, very good evening to you. We've witnessed scenes of devastation, really just listening to the voices on the ground and communities who have seen the weather wreak havoc. What's the latest as you and I speak this evening?
Well, Paul, thanks for having me during this evening, and good evening to the listeners. Earlier on today, the provincial government, led by the Premier Oscar Maboyana, held a media briefing where he announced that 49 people have tragically lost their lives due to this. Due to the rain that has fallen in our province, particularly the OR Tambo district, it accounts for most of the deaths that have occurred. And we understand that now that 4 learners are still missing and the searches are still continuing, Paul. And it's really quite sad. That's what he said. That's what the Premier said earlier on this day, that been lost due to a natural disaster. But what he touched on mostly, particularly from the inserts that you just aired from Fundiswa Mhlekude, that people are building houses in low-lying areas where they are not supposed to build, and that the bylaws of the municipalities should be enforced and heavily strengthened so that people don't build in riverbanks, people don't build in areas where their lives will be put at risk when heavy rains such as the ones that we have experienced do fall on our province, because they are saying that this could have been avoided should people not have built their houses there. So 49 people have died to date, and they are saying that overnight more information could surface that it is likely to rise, and they are saying that people should not be preparing for people who will be coming out alive now, because at this stage, since the rains have fallen, it's really quite rare for people to still be alive while they are still entrenched in floods. So they're saying that people should prepare for the worst, and that's why they're saying that they have their social workers on standby through the Provincial Department of Social Development. But even more than that, they are saying that there are talks now that people should be persuaded not to build homes where they are likely to lose their lives or fall victim to these issues of natural weather, such as the ones that we have we have experienced here in the OR Tambo district.
Abongile, with the interaction that you've had with community members on the ground who have lost loved ones, those who have spoken about how they escaped their homes, those who are fortunate enough to have, made it, what have they had to say as they also witness what's happening around them and the loss of life that has been encountered at the same time?
Well, you could see the sadness in their eyes. People are desperate for them to receive their loved ones alive. They are not into that issue that they have lost loved ones. They are still clinging on that glimmer of hope that they are still alive and that they will come back. They are just lost somewhere there. And they are saying that efforts should be tried to ensure that their people are rescued wherever they are. It's hard to accept it. They are saying that it's very hard to accept that they might be preparing for funerals. They might be preparing to be identifying bodies of their loved ones. They're still clinging on that hope that their loved ones should be coming back home. And some of them are speaking of breadwinners, some of them are speaking of their children, some of them are speaking of their siblings. That's why they're saying that, no, this is unbelievable, because it's really rare. That's why the provincial government, through the Premier, was saying that the entire province should be declared a disaster area so that more assistance could come, because you may be speaking about lives, but infrastructure, the MEC for Education, Fundile Kade, reiterated that over 6,000 learners have been affected, and you'd recall that it's the examinations for now, mid-year examinations, and he's saying that 58 schools have been damaged, and he was saying that it's schools that some of them were in very good conditions, most of them, but the floods wreaked havoc on them. So he's saying that now that this has happened, but they are trying to make contingency plans so that everyone who's affected, particularly learners in the academic space, you recall that this may include matric learners. You recall that the province is aiming for an 85% matric pass rate. So he says that they need to intensify their plans to ensure that those targets are met, even though they are facing such challenges on the ground. But coming to areas such as Butterworth, which is far away from the area of Mthatha, even though Mthatha is the epicenter of this, over 1,000 learners, over 1,000 people have been evacuated there since now, and the Gift of the Givers did bring blankets to ensure that the people who are in that area are safe. They are stuck in community halls. They are stuck in schools after being evacuated. And what's interesting but more concerning about them, they've been saying that they'll go back to where these lowland areas are as a result. Are you still there?
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Abongile, for that. In fact, as you touch on Gift of the Givers, we have Gift of the Givers, Abongile Jantjies, SABC News reporter. They're giving us some of the latest developments on the ground.